Hi there, this is Vadim Michalenko from Online Training for Everyone. And in this video, I will share with you typical Microsoft Word assessment test questions asked as part of LinkedIn assessment test. After LinkedIn introduced Word assessment test, it became an extremely popular tool to demonstrate your knowledge of Microsoft Word to potential employers. Welcome to Online Training for Everyone. I'm about to show you how to pass Microsoft Word LinkedIn assessment test. In this video, I will share with you sample questions we see on the tests. I will have some questions for you to try, and I'll show you tips, tricks, and hacks on how to get ready and pass the test. I will also share with you some additional test resources that might benefit you and might help you to get ready for the test quickly. Why you might consider undertaking Word LinkedIn assessment test? One of the cool reasons is that you will have badge available that shows that you passed the test and have advanced Word skills required to do the job. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Vadim Michalenko, and I have MBA and master's degree in computer science. I have been helping people for more than 25 years to get hired and find jobs. I have founded HowToAnalyzeData.net website with only intent to help people get employment. This site helped a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure it will help you as well. In this video, you will have everything you need to get ready and pass the test. We'll start with the simple questions and answers to get you ready. Then I will have some questions for you to answer. And I will share with you tips, tricks, hacks, and solutions on how to get ready and pass the test. Make sure to watch the entire video from the beginning until the end to make sure you have answers to all the questions and are ready for the test. And now let's look at the question, which is frequently used as part of the Word assessment test. You're finalizing a two-page memo. Instead of having Microsoft Word to choose where page 1 ends, you would like next sentence to start on top of page 2. How would you accomplish this? You're presented with this screen print, which shows the segment of 2 pages in Microsoft Word document. And for example, you can choose best practices to start on the next page. You have 4 choices here. Insert a page break, choose mirrored margins, press Shift-Enter, Shift-Return, or insert a blank page. Which one do you think is the right answer here? Let's see if we can answer this question correctly together. You have multiple options to insert page break in Microsoft Word. You can navigate to Insert tab and click Insert Page Break, but first you need to put a cursor at the place where you would like to insert this page break. Once you click it, you see that the content starts on a new page. One trick I'd like to show you is if you go to the Home tab and then click on the button Show Hide Special Characters, you will see that there's a special character that Word added, which is called Page Break, and it shows up in this mode. So the correct answer here is choice A, insert a page break. You can insert a manual page break in Microsoft Word at any time. You just need to put a cursor where you would like one page to end and the next page to begin. You go to Insert Page Break. An alternative to this is use keyboard shortcut Control-Enter. Hopefully you've got this one right. But in case you have an exam and need to practice with similar questions from real tests, make sure to download my ebook with more practice questions using the link in the description of this video. And now let's get to the answer to the question, which is very frequently used as part of Microsoft Word Skills Assessment Test, when employers need to evaluate your knowledge of the application. How can you insert the content of an existing Word document into your current Word document? You have 4 choices here. Click Layout, Text, Text from File. Click Insert, Text, Quick Parts. Choice C, click Insert, Text, Object, and Text from File. And in the last choice D, click Insert, Insert Media from File. Let's see if we can get to the right answer here together. To insert external file inside Microsoft Word, you need to navigate to Insert tab, and then select Object, select Text from File, and then it opens the dialog box where you will be able to select the file you're trying to download. So the correct choice here is C. You need to click Insert, Text Object, and Text from File. A lot of times you're trying to just do copy and paste, but more efficient way is to navigate and do an insert of external file right inside of Microsoft Word. I'm pretty sure you nailed this question, but in case you need to practice more with similar questions from real tests, please make sure to download my ebook with more practice questions using link in the description of this video. And now let's look at the tricky question, which is frequently used as part of the Word assessment test. You need to set up margins for printing double-sided book. Your objective is to have inside margins to be the same width as outside margins. Which of the following would you pick in the page setup dialog box to accomplish this? There are 4 choices presented. Choice A, different odd and even pages. Choice B, book fold. Choice C, mirror margins. And choice D, landscape. Which one do you think is the right answer here? To select margins, you need to navigate to Layout tab, click Page Setup, and here you have different setups for multiple pages. By default, it's a normal setup, but you also have mirror margins and book fold. So the correct choice would be between these two. And the tricky part of this question, even though it asks you that we're printing for the book, is the correct choice is mirror margins. You need to choose mirror margins because you're trying to set up a facing pages for double-sided documents such as books and magazines. And margins for this particular print are the same on both sides. That's why choice C is the right choice for this particular question.
I would like to give you a tip. There are a lot of different providers that conduct employment assessment tests.
Most common providers that do assessment tests today are Indeed.com, IKM, SkillCheck, eSkills, Kenexa, SHL, and a lot of others. Employer typically requests provider to administer assessment tests, and then provider contacts the candidates to conduct the test. A lot of times, provider has a sample test questions on their website.
Once you know which provider will be assessing your skills, it's a good idea to visit their website to find sample questions.
Now let's look at the Microsoft Word question, which tests your knowledge of Word's features and capabilities. Which feature lets you place background logo or text behind the regular text on your document? You have 4 choices here. A, watermark, B, background, C, transparent image, and D, overlay. Which one do you think is the right choice? Let's see if we can get to the right answer together here. To place a background image behind the text, you need to navigate to Design tab in Microsoft Word and then choose Watermark section. There are a lot of predefined images like confidential, do not copy, draft, or sample, and you can also upload your own image from file. Once you select the image, it shows up on the background behind the text in the Word document. So the correct choice here is choice A, watermark. And watermark is a faded background image that displays behind the text in a document. You can use them to indicate document state, for example, confidential, draft, sample, and a lot of others. Or you can add a company logo or load any custom image that you would like behind the text in your Word document using this feature. Hopefully you've got this one right.
In addition to showing you questions and answers from the real test, I also have questions for you to answer.
Most of the videos on this channel have practice questions for you to answer. Please make sure to post your answers in the comment section of the video. This will allow me to validate your answer and give you the grade. Now let's continue and get you ready for the assessment test. Now let's look at the question which is frequently used as part of the Microsoft Word assessment test. How do you select the paper size for a document? And you have 4 choices. Layout arrange document size. Choice B, layout page setup size. Choice C, file page setup. And choice D, design page size. Which one do you think is right choice here? To change the page size in Microsoft Word document, you need to navigate to the Layout tab and then select Size and then select appropriate size for your document. So you choose letter in the United States. In Europe, A4 is a very popular format, and based on your region, you have to select appropriate choices. To recap, the correct choice is choice B. You need to select Layout, Page Setup, and then choose Size. By default, the page size of a new document is 8 by 5 by 11 inches, and depending upon your project, you may need to adjust your document page size. The most important thing here to consider is the fact that your printer needs to be able to accommodate the page size of the document that you will select. Hopefully you've nailed this question, but in case you didn't, please make sure to check out my PDF ebook and download it based on the link in the description of this video. And here's the question for you to answer. Which Word ribbon tab includes commands to add various types of objects or media into your documents? Please make sure to post your answer in the comment section of this video.
One of the best ways to learn is try to test your knowledge periodically. I encourage you to participate in our daily question challenge.
Every day we post a new question in the community section of the channel. You have an opportunity to test your knowledge and validate your skills on the different topics. This is one additional reason to subscribe to the channel, because this way all the questions will be delivered to you automatically. Let's look at the question which we frequently see as part of word assessments tests. Which option lets you mark your favorite templates for quick reuse in the future? And there are 4 choices: mark as favorite, pin to list, add to chooser, drag to home tab. Which one do you think is right here? Microsoft Word provides a variety of different templates on different subjects. You have business, you have cards, flyers, letters, education, resume, and holiday, and you can search for even something that's outside of this category. In order to pin something that you use frequently, you can use option pin to list. And once you do it, it shows up on the top of the screen. So the correct choice here is B, pin to list. If you frequently use a particular template in Word, make sure to pin it. Point the template to the list of templates and select the pin icon that appears below the thumbnail in the list of templates. Word includes a lot of professional-looking templates to choose from. To get started, just select one and save it as a document. Hopefully you did not just get this question right, but also learn something that you'll be able to use to make yourself more productive in Microsoft Word.
Let me share you smart ways to get prepared for the test.
One of the smartest ways to prepare is to find out who your provider is that will be conducting an assessment test, and use outlines and sample questions from the provider. The providers might be Indeed.com, SkillCheck, IKM, Kenexa, SHL, and a lot of others. Once you know who the provider is, you can go to their website, find out sample questions, and practice with sample questions. You can also practice LinkedIn assessment test questions on the topic that you will be assessed. LinkedIn test is free. It gives you exposure to the sample questions. And also, you can get a badge that will enhance your profile for potential employers. You can also research the topic you're trying to prepare for online and download ebooks to get ready for the test. Hands-on experience is very important. You can find relevant training and follow along to do hands-on exercises using practice videos on the training. If you have a question or ran into an obstacle during your practice exercises, try posting questions in the comment sections of the video. Channel owners or members of the channel monitor the questions and respond to the inquiries. And last but not least, consider subscribing to relevant YouTube channels. I encourage you to consider subscribing to Online Training for Everyone. We have a great community of people helping each other to prepare and pass the test. And now, let's go and take real LinkedIn Word test to see how well we've learned the material. Let's look at the first question. How can you break a table into 2 parts? And there are 4 choices presented. Use the split table command. Press Shift-Enter on Windows and Shift-Return on Mac. Use the section break command and then use the split cells command. Which one do you think is the right answer? Let's take a look. In Microsoft Word, let's quickly create a new table. To do that, let's click Insert, and then we can say Insert Table, and then we can select the different table sizes based on what we need. It doesn't matter which size we select right now. The important point is how do we split it. When new table is selected, you see that there are 2 additional tabs. One is Table Design and then Layout. Keep in mind that the layout for the table is different from the regular layout. But to split the table, you go to Tables Layout, and then select the row where you want to split the table, and then in the Merge section, you see that there is a Split Table option. So going back to our question, the correct answer is Split Table command. Once we select the row and then click Split Table, it splits table into 2.
A lot of students ask me, what are the smartest ways to learn? Let's look at the different options available to you.
Let me share with you some ways to learn new material that work for me. I typically use dedicated, uninterrupted chunks of time to read and practice new material. When my attention drifts, I try to take a break, and I typically do it every 25 to 30 minutes. I recommend that you download workbooks to practice the hands-on steps, which helps you reinforce the steps and better learn the material. When I try to learn something, I try to watch videos from start to finish in one sitting. I use different playback speed to make sure the material keeps me engaged. I also try to give myself time to absorb the content. And if something is not clear, I try to pause the video, and sometimes I even go back to review material more than once. Now let's look at the question 2 of LinkedIn Word Assessment Test. Which statistic does the word count feature not collect? And there are 4 different choices: lines, page breaks, characters, no spaces, and paragraph. Which one do you think is the right choice? To access word count feature in Microsoft Word, you need to have a document opened, which I have opened my PDF ebook, Top 50 Microsoft Word Assessment Test Questions. Definitely recommend you check it out. But that's not to the point right now. The word count feature is located in the bottom left corner, and if you double click, you see that the word count dialog box pops up, and it contains pages, words, characters, no spaces, characters with spaces, paragraphs, and lines. So going back to our original question, the statistic that's missing on this dialog box is page breaks. I hope that you've guessed it right.
A lot of students ask me, how can I learn quickly? Let's look at all different options based on recent scientific research.
One of the most effective ways to learn we recommend to our students is a mixed mode learning. You use a variety of different resources during mixed mode learning and alternate between them to ensure better comprehension of the material. For example, if you're trying to get ready for Excel assessment test, you can start by watching YouTube videos, then practice the steps in Microsoft Excel, read related topics in the ebook, and then experiment with a variety of questions during practice test. Let's look at the question 3. What is the difference between a footnote and an endnote? And there are 4 different choices. An endnote always appears at the bottom of the same page that it references. A footnote is placed at the page footer, and the endnote is placed on a blank page at the end of the document. A footnote is placed at the bottom of the page, and the endnote is placed at the end of the document. And in choice 4, footnotes use Arabic numbers and endnotes use letters. Which one do you think is the right one? One of the things you can do during LinkedIn test is that you can bring in Google and type difference footnote and endnote. Once you get to the search screen, you see that the one difference between footnotes and endnotes is that footnote appears at the bottom of the same page, while endnote appears at the end of the paper. Which means that for this question, a choice C is correct. A footnote is placed at the bottom of the page, and an endnote is placed at the end of the document. I hope you've guessed this answer correctly.
Let me give you a couple reasons why you might consider subscribing to online training for everyone.
Knowing latest assessment test questions and answers helps you to get ready for the interview and assessment test and improves your job mobility. We share with you latest questions asked during the interview. You get access to the daily challenge question. You see questions and answers people posting in the comment section of this video, and you get access to other people's experiences. You also have opportunity to help other people by answering their questions. We have a community of great people already subscribed to this channel, and these people are here ready to help you with the challenges you are experiencing. Subscribing to online training for everyone is an exciting opportunity to get ahead in your career. Thank you for your time and consideration, and looking forward to have you as a member on this channel. Now let's continue and get you ready for the assessment test. Let's go to the question 4. You want to set a wider inside margin to accommodate binding a document where pages are printed on both sides. Which option should you choose in the page setup dialog box? And there are 4 different choices: different odd and even pages, mirror margins, bookfold, and duplex. To be honest with you, I'm not sure which one is the right one, so let's go ahead and check in Microsoft Word. To do that, let's go to Layout tab, and then on the page setup, let's click this extension button, and then we have multiple choices. It's not in margins, it's not in paper, and it is in layout most likely, and I see different odd and even pages. So I hope I'm getting it right, but if you have a different answer in mind, please post in comments of this video and also share your rationale. I'm gonna go with different odd and even because there are no similar choices. There is no mirror margins, there's no bookfold and duplex. So I think that's what we need, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's go ahead and test it out and see if I got it right.
Let's talk about best practices on how to get ready for employment assessment test.
If this option is available and you have a choice, try to schedule assessment test in the morning when you have highest levels of energy. Get a good night's sleep before the test. And please do not take the test if you're tired, since a lot of questions require your top mental energy performance. During the test, read each question carefully, ideally more than once. Questions are designed to be tricky, and each and every detail in the question might be important. If you have a choice, try to answer easy questions first, This would allow you to leave harder questions for the end, but you will get easy answers in and you will get the points for them. Try to validate your answers with more than one method. For example, if you do an Excel assessment test, you can do manual calculation. You can try to use formulas for calculations, use calculator, or use pivot tables to validate your answers. And last but not least, try not to guess the answers, as some providers deduct points for incorrect selections. Let's look at the question 5. What can you not create from a Word document? A Word macro-enabled document. Choice B, a plain text file. Choice C, a multi-page website. And choice D, a Word 2003 XML document. Which one do you think is the right one? So let's go through these choices one by one. If we go to Word Save As dialog box, we can definitely create a Word macro-enabled document with the extension docm. We can create a text file, plain text file. We can save Word 2003 XML document with the extension XML, which leaves us with the option of multi-page website. So I think this is the right choice, and it kind of makes sense. Maybe if it would be a single-page website, you can save it as HTML and create a single-page website. But for multi-page website, I don't think we can do that. So let's go with that choice.
Let me give you a tip on how to plan your time during the test.
As you're probably well aware, most of the assessment tests are timed. One thing you can do to increase your chances of passing the test is to calculate how much time would you have per question. For example, if you have 50 questions that you need to complete in 60 minutes, you can do a quick math in your head. By dividing 60 by 50, it will give you the answers that you need about 1.2 minutes per question, which is an equivalent of 72 seconds per question. Having this information handy will tell you how much time you need to allocate per each question. Now let's continue and get you ready for the assessment test. Let's go and look at the question 6. When you insert page numbers, which position is not an option? Inset, page margins, bottom of page, and in current position. Which one do you think is the right choice? In Microsoft Word, to insert page numbers, we need to navigate to Insert tab, and in here, select page number. There are 4 different choices and 2 sub-choices. So we have top of the page, bottom of the page, page margins, and then current position. So the only option that's missing is the Inset option. So we'll select this because this is the right answer, it looks like. Let's look at the question 7. How can you add manual line break to a paragraph? And there are 4 different choices listed here. Press Enter twice on Windows or Return twice on Mac. Press Alt-Enter on Windows or Option plus Return on Mac. Press Enter on Windows and Return on Mac. Press Shift-Enter on Windows or Shift-Return on Mac. It's hard to know all this keyboard shortcuts, so I'm asking Google for help. And as you can see, the first choice here, when we type Word, how to add line break keyboard shortcut, shows us that this is the Shift plus Enter. So we are going to select this choice and move forward. Hopefully we've got it right.
People contact me and ask what's changed during COVID-19. Let's look at the changes in employment assessment test process that have happened recently.
One of the biggest changes is the fact that a lot of people work remotely, which means a lot of hiring also happening remotely. Provider might ask you to install special software to monitor your desktop activities. They might also ask you to enable your camera to see what you're doing during the test. Another big shift we see is that the questions become more relevant to the position. For example, if you're applying for accountant or bookkeeper job, make sure you know how to import the data, do profit and loss reports, calculate the expenses, and calculate the annual statements. These are the types of questions that you might see for that specific position. Researching the company and researching the test provider always works for our students. Once you know who the provider is, you can try to go to their website to see the sample questions to get an idea what kind of questions you're going to get on the test. It is always a good idea to refresh your hands-on skills and practice before the test. This gives you necessary boost of confidence and allows to pass the test with the higher grade. If you didn't pass the test, make sure to reflect after it. Take notes and develop an action plan to see what the next steps might be to get you the job. Now let's look at our next question. You want to create an organizational chart. Which smart art category should you choose? And there are 4 choices: pyramid, hierarchy, relationship, and then matrix. Let's look inside Microsoft Word to find the answers. To access Smart Art category in Word, we need to navigate to Insert tab and then click Smart Art. And there are a lot of choices here, so let's see. Let's go one by one. So the first one's pyramid. Pyramid, you cannot build organizational chart. Hierarchy, yes, that's the one. This is how you build organizational charts. Any one of those can represent organizational charts. So that's the right answer, but let's check the other ones. So relationship, no, this doesn't look like it. And then last one is matrix. Matrix is not the good choice. So hierarchy is the right choice. Let's look at the next question. You want to repeat an element, such as the date, on all pages of the document. Which option should you choose? And there are 4 choices. Navigate to Insert, and then Header and Footer, Insert Text, Design Header and Footer, and then View Header and Footer. Which one do you think is the right answer? To answer this question, all you need is to look inside Microsoft Word. You navigate to Insert tab, and there is a Header and Footer section. And from here, you can insert the date where you would like it to be. So the correct answer to this is Insert Header and Footer.
Can I ask you to do me a favor? If you recently passed the employment assessment test, please share the questions that are being asked during the test. This will help all of us learn and better prepare for the upcoming test.
Now let's continue and get you ready for the assessment test. Now let's look at the next question. Your document contains 2 columns of content with vertical line between the columns as shown. From where can you delete the line? And there are 4 choices. Insert line remove, columns dialog box, insert text, and an insert line vertical. Which one do you think is the right one? Let's look inside Microsoft Word. I try to simulate this scenario as closely as possible, but the line here in between columns is defined not as a line, as an object, but is defined as part of the columns dialog box. So let me demonstrate this. If we navigate to the Layout tab, and then if we go to Columns, you can choose between how many columns you have. But more importantly, the question refers specifically to Columns dialog box. To get there, we click on the More Columns, and you see that there is a line in between the columns, and you can choose how many columns you would like to have. So to delete the line, you uncheck this, and this deletes the line, but you still maintain 2 columns. So the right choice here is Columns dialog box. Hopefully you've got this one right.
If you like the content, please give this video a big thumbs up. This tells us that you need more content like this, and we'll make sure that you get it in the future.
Now let's continue and get you ready for the assessment test. Let's look at the next question. When you crop an image in a document, what happens in the image and overall document file size? The cropped parts of the image are removed, and the overall file size does not change. The cropped parts of the image are hidden, and the overall file size does not change. The cropped parts of the image are hidden, and the overall file size increases. And the last one is the cropped part of the image are removed, and the overall file size decreases. Which one do you think is the right one? Let's look inside Microsoft Word. So here I have the Word file, and the only thing it has is the image. When we select the image, the picture format menu shows up, and then you can access crop function right here. So when you click crop, you can crop the image, and cropping means that you just selectively remove some part of the image like this. So the only demonstratable area on the screen and in the Word document will be this 3 charts. I just removed chart number 4. Now, if I hit enter, this is the new image, and this is how it's going to look. But did the hidden part disappear or not? And it didn't disappear, because we can do undo, and if you do undo, it shows back up. So going back to our original question, the right answer is that the cropped part of the image are hidden, and the overall file size does not change, because Word still has to keep the entire image. It's just we're cropping some particular part of it. Hopefully you've got this one right.
Can I ask you to do me a favor? If you know someone who will benefit from this material and looking for the job, please share this content with them. I really appreciate it. This will help them find the jobs quickly. Thank you very much.
Now let's continue and get you ready for the assessment test. Now let's go to question 12. Which statement best describes how a bookmark is used in a Word document? And there are 4 choices. Bookmark works in conjunction with hyperlinks to allow you to quickly jump to a specific location in your document. A bookmark is a link in your document that can give you quick access to web pages, files, and other locations within your document. A bookmark is a color-coded graphic that appears in the navigation pane for easy access to a specific location in your document. And then the fourth one, a bookmark is a hyperlink where the label is automatically generated. I have no idea which one is right. I can take a guess here, but let's ask Google. If we type in Google what is bookmark in Word, it takes us to the very good Microsoft article. And here we can see what bookmark is. I guess I knew what bookmark is, right? It's not as difficult to guess. The challenge is to pick the right choice in this question. And I believe, just based on looking at my questions and answers here, is that the first choice is correct. A bookmark works in conjunction with hyperlinks to allow you to quickly jump to a specific location in the document. So I'm gonna pick this one. If you have any better ideas, please share them in the comments of this video. But I think that might be the right choice, because other ones, they kind of don't make sense. I don't believe bookmark allows you to jump to web pages, and it's not a color-coded graphic, and it's not a hyperlink. So let's go with this answer.
A lot of people ask me, how can I help? One of the best ways to help others on this channel is to help answer their questions. If you see questions on this channel that you know the answer to, please make sure to post your answer. This way, you will help another person to get hired.
Now let's continue and get you ready for the assessment test. Let's go to question 13. What Microsoft Word feature lets you capture a portion of the screen used as an image in your document? And we have 4 choices: screen grab, none of these answers, screen capture, and screen clipping. Let's take a look inside Microsoft Word. Word provides screen capturing capabilities if you go to Insert, and then you have a screenshot. And that allows us to select the screenshot of the area that we want to capture. And if we go back to the original question, this is not listed. They are synonyms, but they are not exactly the screenshot. So the correct answer might be here, none of these answers. So let's pick the correct answer, hopefully, and then we'll go from there. And if I didn't pick anything correctly, just let me know in the comments.
Let me share with you some information that you probably don't know.
Based on our recent research, most assessment test providers deduct points for incorrect answers. So it is not a good idea to guess answers during the test. You can ask the provider to see how they handle incorrect answers. If they deduct points for incorrect answers, you might consider skipping the questions where you do not know the answers to. Now let's continue and get you ready for the assessment test. Let's go to question 14, as it seems like we're almost there at the end of the test. What type of a page is useful at the front of the large document to identify the document title, author, and other information? We have 4 choices: table of content, blank page, cover, and master page. And obviously, if you ever used Word and you use table of content, you will pick the table of content. Let's look inside Microsoft Word. To insert a table of content, we go to References and Table of Content, and it builds table of content based on the headings that you used in the document, and that's extremely useful. So let's pick this choice and go to the next question.
Please make sure to check out available downloads in the description section of this video.
All links to the downloads are available in the description of this video. Please make sure to consider ebooks and practice files, and also consider premium resources that helped other people to get prepared faster. Now let's continue and get you ready for the assessment test. And finally, let's look at the last question. Which file format best preserves formatting and allows editing when a Word document is transferred to another application? Plain text, rich text format, XML paper specification, XPS, and open document text. So I know Word allows to save document in every one of this, but the best one to preserve Word formatting would be RTF format. I believe it was initially designed for Macs to make it interchangeable, but it never took off. So we'll pick this one, RTF format, and that's the last question. Whoa, excellent. I've passed the test. I'm very excited. I'm just going to enable the badge and show it proudly on my LinkedIn profile.
Thanks for watching. I encourage you to check out our daily question challenge in the community section of this channel. I also recommend that you check downloads in the description section of this video. Please also check out resources page on our website, howtoanalyzedata.net/resources. If you like the content, please give this video a big thumbs up. This tells us that you need more content like this. I would encourage you to share this video with other people that might be looking for the job. This will help them to get prepared and pass assessment test faster. Please consider subscribing and following this channel. We have a community of great people helping each other to get ready and pass the test. Please leave questions, comments, or suggestions in the comment section of this video. And all the best on your interview and assessment test. Thanks for watching.